was 5 years old, standing in the old great cat house at the Bronx Zoo, staring into the face of an old female jaguar. I remember looking at the bare walls and the bare ceiling, wondering what the animal had done to get itself there. I leaned in a little towards the cage and started whispering something to the jaguar.
How's your day been?
But my father came over quickly and asked, "What are you doing?" I turned to him to try to explain, but my mouth froze. Because everything about my young childhood at that time was characterized by the inability to speak. The words were inside of me, but they just wouldn't come out. From the earliest time that I tried to speak, I was handicapped with a severe, severe stutter. The reaction of the New York City public school system was that they put me in a class with disturbed children. I spent my youth wondering why adults couldn't see into me, why they couldn't see. I was normal. I was just a very, very frustrated young man. I felt very alone and out of place in the world. Fortunately, at a very young age, I learned what most stutterers learn at some point. You can talk to animals and not stutter. So every day I would come home from the special class, the one that the other kids called the retarded class, and I'd go into the closet and I'd sit with my pets, New York-style pets, hamsters, gerbils, sometimes a garter snake. And I would talk to them, tell them my hopes, my dreams. And the animals listened. They felt it. Right then I made a promise. If I could ever find my voice, I would become the voice of those that had no voice, the animals. My parents didn't know what to do. There was very little information on stuttering at that time. No computers, no internet. But they wouldn't give up. They learned of a very experimental new clinic for severe stutterers. It was really intense. I was sent away for what seemed like an eternity.
Okay. Now, what's this one? Bus, stop. Try that again. Bus, stop. And now, Al, go like a horse, shaking it all out. Yeah, and the wolf howl. Ow! Ow! Now straight away, around the rugged rocks, the ragged rascal ran.
Around the rugged rocks, the ragged rascal ran.
Great.
But that clinic changed my life. Throughout my academic years, I had focused on science. I loved science. I loved science because science to me was the study of truths apart from the world of human beings. So I applied to graduate school at the University of Tennessee in wildlife biology and zoology, and I got accepted. Within 2 months, I had bought an old Ford pickup truck. packed everything I owned in the back, which didn't even take up half of it, and I drove from New York to Central America. This was what my life was all about. A month later, I was in the jungle following my jaguars. Being in the jungle alone with the animals was my real-world closet. But as fast as I was gathering information about them, they were being killed in front of me. You never actually see jaguars. I knew all my jaguars in the study area from their tracks. But this one day, I crossed a completely new track. It was the track of the biggest male jaguar I had ever seen in my life. I followed him for hours, and then I realized it was getting dark, and I didn't want to be caught in the jungle at night without a flashlight. As soon as I turned around, there he was, not 15 feet in back of me. Instinctively, I just squatted down. In this animal's eyes, there was strength and power. I looked at the jaguar, and I leaned a little towards it, the way I had at the Bronx Zoo. And I remembered the promise I had made so many years before, and I whispered to it, "It's okay now. It's all gonna be okay." And the jaguar turned and was gone. And from that day on, my voice has been theirs.